My friends, you are not separate from the power that governs the universe. You are the very essence of creation, and the moment you ask, the answer is already forming. But let me tell you, asking is not mere words spoken into the air. It is an inner conviction, a shift in your state of being. When you desire something, it is not a mere wish. It is a whisper from the universe itself, calling you to claim what is already yours. The moment you recognize this, you will stop begging and start expecting. You must see yourself already in possession of what you seek. Not tomorrow, not in the distant future, but now. Close your eyes, and instead of longing for it, become the person who already has it. How do you feel? How do you act? How do you think? The moment you align with this reality, the universe must conform. But here is where many falter. They ask with hope rather than certainty. Hope suggests possibility, but certainty commands reality. If you plant a seed and then dig it up every day to check if it's growing, you ruin the process. You must ask, then rest in the knowing that it is done. The world you experience is a mirror of your inner state. You cannot look at the world and react to it. You must create from within. What you assume to be true in consciousness will harden into fact. If you wish for abundance, do not ask for it as if you lack it. Feel abundant now. If you desire love, do not chase it. Embody love and it will come effortlessly. The secret is simple. You must live in the end. The universe is always listening, always responding, but it does not respond to desperation, it responds to faith. Act as if you already have it. Walk as if it is already yours. And soon, the world will reflect your inner knowing. Your inner world is the blueprint of your external reality. Every thought you hold, every belief you entertain, and every assumption you accept as true is shaping the life you live. The universe does not give you what you merely wish for. It gives you what you assume to be true. Your assumptions are the silent architects of your destiny, constantly at work, molding the world around you into a reflection of your inner convictions. Consider for a moment the things you believe about yourself and your life. Are they empowering, filled with certainty and abundance, or are they colored with doubt and limitation? The truth is, you cannot experience anything in your outer world that you have not first accepted within. If you assume that success is difficult, that wealth is reserved for a select few, or that love is elusive, then your world will confirm these beliefs, not because they are absolute truths, but because you have claimed them as such. The mind is the soil in which seeds of assumption are planted. Whatever you consistently assume to be true takes root, grows, and eventually manifests as experience. If you assume that you are always overlooked, that assumption will shape your interactions, your energy, and even the way people perceive you. You will unknowingly act in ways that reinforce this belief, and the world will respond accordingly. Conversely, if you assume that you are valued, respected, and magnetic, your reality will begin to shift to match that state. Many believe they must first see proof in order to believe something is possible, but this is the opposite of how creation works. The outer world is not the cause, it is the effect. Your assumptions precede the evidence, not the other way around. You do not wait for circumstances to confirm your beliefs, you impose your beliefs onto reality. This is why two people can experience the same situation yet perceive it entirely differently. One assumes life is working for them, and so it does. The other assumes they are constantly facing obstacles, and so they do. The power of assumption is most evident in those who succeed effortlessly. They do not force success. They simply assume it is inevitable. They carry themselves with the quiet confidence of someone who already knows the outcome. There is no hesitation, no second guessing, just an unwavering certainty that life must conform to their expectations. And it does. So how do you begin to shift your assumptions? First, become aware of what you are unconsciously assuming to be true about yourself, your relationships, your finances, and your health. Are your assumptions empowering or limiting? Are they based on fear or faith? Once you identify the beliefs that no longer serve you, replace them with new assumptions that align with the reality you desire. This is not a mere mental exercise, it requires deep inner conviction. You must saturate your mind with the feeling of already being the person you wish to become. If you want to be prosperous, assume the state of prosperity now. Feel the relief, the security, the ease that comes with it. If you desire love, assume you are already loved and cherished. Carry yourself as if it is already done, and soon your world will shift to match your inner state. Doubt is the only thing that can delay the process. The moment you assume something new, your old reality may try to convince you otherwise. Circumstances may appear unchanged, but this is merely an illusion. If you hold firm to your new assumption, the world must eventually conform. But if you waver, questioning whether it is working, you disrupt the process. Faith is knowing that your assumption, once made, is as good as fact. You do not need to struggle or chase after results. You simply assume, trust, and persist. The universe is a faithful servant to your assumptions, reflecting back to you exactly what you accept as true. Change your assumptions, and you change your world. Your desires are not meaningless wishes or fleeting thoughts. They are divine whispers, guiding you toward what is already yours in the unseen. Every longing you feel, every vision that stirs something deep within you is not an accident. It is a glimpse of a reality that already exists for you. The moment a desire arises, it is proof that what you seek is seeking you. The universe does not tease, it does not place dreams in your heart without the means for their fulfillment. Most people misunderstand desire. They see it as something distant, something they must struggle for or prove themselves worthy of before they can attain it. But the truth is, your desires are not outside of you, they are part of you. They are not asking you to chase them, they are asking you to claim them. The moment you recognize this, you stop feeling separate from what you want. Instead of longing, you move into knowing. Instead of striving, you shift into receiving. The universe operates on a simple law. What you accept as real must become real. When a desire arises, it is not just an empty hope. It is an invitation. It is the universe saying, here is what is possible for you. Will you accept it? The problem is, most people reject this invitation. They let doubt, fear, or feelings of unworthiness block the path. They convince themselves that what they want is too difficult, too far away, or meant for someone else. And in doing so, they turn away from the very thing that was meant for them. But when you embrace your desires, when you see them as divine guidance rather than impossible dreams, everything changes. The moment you say yes to your desire, not with mere words, but with the deep inner knowing that it is already yours, the universe begins to move. Circumstances shift, opportunities arise, and what once seemed impossible starts to unfold effortlessly. It is not your job to figure out how it will happen. The how is never your concern. The same power that gave you the desire will orchestrate the means for its fulfillment. Your only responsibility is to accept it as done, to hold the vision, to assume the feeling of already having it, to align yourself with the reality in which your desire is a fact. Many people ask and then immediately undo their own requests. They let impatience creep in. They look at their current reality and declare that nothing is changing. But this is where faith is required. The universe works in ways unseen before it manifests in the physical. Just because you do not see the movement does not mean it is not happening. Just because the evidence has not yet appeared does not mean the process is not underway. Think of it like planting a seed. The moment you place the seed in the soil, the process of growth has begun. But if you dig it up every day to check if it is growing, you interfere with the natural order. Desire works the same way. Once you ask, trust that it is already growing beneath the surface. Do not disrupt the process with doubt or desperation. Nurture your desire with belief. Speak as if it is already yours. Walk as if it has already been given. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the certainty that comes with knowing you have received. This is the key to unlocking your desires effortlessly. The universe does not respond to pleading, it responds to conviction. It mirrors back to you the state you dwell in. If you dwell in lack, you experience lack. If you dwell in abundance, you experience abundance. So when you ask, do not ask from a place of need. Ask from a place of knowing. Ask as if it is already done. Your desires are divine. They are not random. They are not unreachable. They are waiting for you to step into the version of yourself that is already living them. When you do, the universe will move heaven and earth to bring them into form. When you ask, the universe does not listen to your words alone. It listens to the energy behind them. It responds to your state of being, to the feeling you hold as you make your request. The great secret is that creation is not about hoping, wishing, or begging. It is about assuming. It is about stepping into the feeling of already having what you desire, embodying it so completely that it becomes undeniable. Most people ask from a place of lack. They focus on what is missing, on what they do not have, and their request is laced with doubt and longing. But longing only affirms separation. When you desire something and feel as though you do not have it, you are reinforcing its absence. The more you focus on what is missing, the more the universe mirrors that state back to you. But when you assume the feeling of already having what you seek, everything changes. You no longer ask as someone who is lacking, you ask as someone who already possesses. You do not pray from desperation, you give thanks in certainty. You do not wait for external proof, you embody the proof within. And because the universe reflects your inner world, it must bring forth the reality that matches your state. When you truly believe something is yours, how do you feel? There is no anxiety, no restlessness, no questioning. There is only peace. There is only the quiet confidence of knowing. This is the state you must dwell in. If you desire love, do not ask for it with a heart that feels lonely. Assume the warmth, the security, the deep fulfillment of already being loved. If you desire wealth, do not plead for it while feeling poor. Step into the feeling of abundance, of ease, of having more than enough. This is not about pretending. It is not about forcing yourself to believe something while secretly feeling the opposite. It is about shifting your state so completely that the new reality becomes natural to you. You do not need to see it first, you need to feel it first. When you do, the external world will rearrange itself to match your inner assumption. Doubt is the only thing that can disrupt this process. Many people try to assume the feeling of fulfillment, but then they check their current reality and see nothing has changed. They let impatience creep in. They question whether it is working. But faith is knowing that once you assume the state, it is already done. The outer world is simply catching up. Imagine placing an order at a restaurant. You do not worry about whether the food will arrive. You place the order and you wait with expectation. You trust that what you have asked for is being prepared even before you see it. This is the same way you must ask the universe. Once you assume the state, you must carry yourself as though your desire is already being delivered. Gratitude is a powerful tool in this process. When you give thanks, not for what you hope will come, but for what you know is already yours, you shift your energy instantly. Gratitude affirms possession. It declares that what you have asked for is already received. It removes doubt and replaces it with certainty. So when you ask, do not ask as someone who is waiting. Ask as someone who already has. Feel the reality of your desire fulfilled. Rest in the assurance that the universe has already responded. The moment you shift your inner world, the outer world must follow. This is law. Doubt is the only thing that stands between you and the life you desire. It is the force that disrupts your manifestations, delays your blessings, and keeps you in a cycle of uncertainty. The moment you entertain doubt, you begin to unravel the very thing you have set in motion. You question whether your desire is possible, whether the universe has heard you, and whether you are worthy of receiving it. And in doing so, you weaken your faith, casting shadows over what was meant to be a certainty. But the truth is, the moment you ask, it is already granted. There is no question, no hesitation, no negotiation. What you desire is already set into motion. Your only task is to align with it, to trust the process without second-guessing it. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust that beneath the soil, unseen forces are at work. You water it, you nurture it, but you do not interfere with the process. You know that in time it must break through the surface. This is how manifestation works. The moment you declare something as yours, the unseen begins to shift. Circumstances rearrange, opportunities align, and paths unfold in ways you cannot yet see. But if you allow doubt to enter, you disrupt this process. You uproot the seed before it has time to grow. You delay what was already in motion. Many people do this unknowingly. They ask for something, then immediately check their surroundings for proof. They look at their current reality and declare that nothing has changed. They let fear creep in. They question whether it is really working. But faith does not seek evidence, it creates it. Faith does not wait for proof, it is the proof. You must hold your belief unwaveringly. You must trust so completely that there is no room for hesitation. You must move through life as though your desire is already fulfilled, as though you are merely waiting for reality to catch up. This is the secret that separates those who manifest with ease from those who struggle. The ones who receive are the ones who trust, without needing reassurance, without needing to control the how or when. There is great power in silence. The moment doubt tries to creep in, silence it. Do not speak words of uncertainty. Do not entertain thoughts of failure. Do not allow external circumstances to dictate your inner state. Speak only of what you desire as if it is already done. Think only in terms of fulfillment. Feel only the certainty of already having received. The universe does not respond to weak intentions. It does not respond to half-hearted belief. It mirrors back to you the strength of your conviction. If you believe fully, without question, the universe has no choice but to align with that belief. But if you waver, if you doubt, if you allow fear to take hold, you send mixed signals. And mixed signals create delays. This is why so many people feel stuck. They are caught between belief and doubt, between trust and fear. They take one step forward in faith, then 2 steps back in uncertainty. But when you decide, truly decide, that what you desire is already yours, everything shifts. So, silence the doubt, trust the process, walk in faith, not by sight. Know that just because you do not see the movement yet does not mean it is not happening. It is happening. It is unfolding. Your only task is to hold the belief unwaveringly. Live as if your request is already granted, because in truth, it is. The greatest secret to manifestation lies in living in the end. To see yourself already in possession of what you desire, to think from the state of fulfillment rather than longing for it, is the key to bringing your dreams into reality. Most people ask for what they want while still identifying with the version of themselves who does not have it. They pray for wealth while feeling poor. They seek love while believing they are unworthy. They hope for success while fearing failure. But as long as you continue to see yourself as separate from your desire, you will remain in that separation. To live in the end means to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It means to act, think, and feel as though your desire has already materialized. It is not about forcing external actions, but rather shifting your inner state so completely that the external world has no choice but to conform. The universe does not respond to wishful thinking, it responds to certainty. When you embody the version of yourself who already has what you desire, the world rearranges itself to match that reality. Imagine you have already received what you want. How would you think? How would you feel? How would you carry yourself? If you were already successful, would you still worry about failure? If you were already in love, would you still feel lonely? If you were already wealthy, would you still stress about money? The answer is no. Your energy would be different, your actions would be different, and this is the shift that must take place within you. Many believe they must wait for external proof before they can feel certain, but this is a mistake. The outer world is merely a reflection of the inner world. If you wait for proof before believing, you will remain in a state of waiting indefinitely. But if you choose to believe first, if you step into the feeling of already having, you activate the forces that bring your desire into form. Living in the end is not about pretending. It is not about acting as though something is true while secretly believing it is not. It is about fully immersing yourself in the reality of your desire. It is about making that state your dwelling place, so natural to you that it no longer feels like something you are trying to manifest. It feels like something that already is. Doubt has no place in this process. The moment you waver, the moment you question whether it is working, you step out of alignment with your desire. Faith is not about hoping, it is about knowing. It is about trusting so deeply that you no longer concern yourself with when or how your desire will come to you. You rest in the certainty that it is already done, that the unseen forces are moving on your behalf. If you desire a new reality, you must become the person who already lives it. Your self-concept must shift. Instead of seeing yourself as someone who is waiting, see yourself as someone who has arrived. Instead of chasing your desire, become the version of you who already possesses it. The shift is internal, and once it is made, the external world must comply. This is the law. This is how reality bends to your assumption. The moment you live in the end, the moment you claim it as your truth, it must come to pass. The world is only reflecting you. So decide who you are. Decide what is already yours. And then, without hesitation, live in that knowing. The universe has no choice but to respond accordingly. Gratitude is not merely a polite response to receiving. It is a powerful force that accelerates manifestation. Most people wait until their desires materialize before they express gratitude, but this is a mistake. True gratitude is not a reaction. It is a state of being. It is the act of feeling thankful before the physical evidence appears, of embodying the energy of already having. When you feel gratitude as if you have already received, you confirm to the universe that your manifestation is real, and by doing so, you draw it closer with incredible speed. Gratitude is the language of completion. It signals that you recognize your desire is already yours, even if the world has not yet reflected it back to you. When you give thanks in advance, you solidify your belief, making it unwavering. You eliminate doubt because you would not be grateful for something you did not truly believe was coming. In this way, gratitude is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. It is the glue that holds your manifestation together, ensuring that it moves swiftly from imagination to reality. Think about the energy of someone who is thankful. They are calm, confident, and at peace. They are not anxiously waiting, nor are they pleading or begging for their desires to arrive. Instead, they live in a state of certainty. This certainty aligns them with their desire, magnetizing it toward them. The universe mirrors this certainty, responding with experiences that match the energy they are radiating. Contrast this with someone who is impatient, doubtful, or fearful. They may say they believe their manifestation is coming, but if they feel anxious or desperate, they are unknowingly affirming its absence. Their energy says, "I do not have it yet." And so the universe continues to reflect that state of not having. This is why gratitude must be felt before the physical manifestation appears. It is a declaration of faith, and knowing that what you seek is already yours. To practice this, begin by imagining how you would feel if your desire had already come to pass. Picture yourself living in the reality you have created. What emotions rise within you? Relief, joy, excitement? Tap into those emotions and express deep, heartfelt gratitude for them now. Say thank you for this abundance, thank you for this love, thank you for this success. Speak as if it is already done, as if you are merely acknowledging what has already been given. This practice shifts your entire state of being. Instead of waiting for something to happen, you move into alignment with the version of you who has already received. The more you embody this feeling, the faster your manifestation unfolds. It is not the words of gratitude that create the shift, but the feeling behind them. Words spoken without emotion are empty. Gratitude must be felt deeply. Many do not realize that gratitude also dissolves resistance. When you are truly thankful, there is no space for fear, doubt, or frustration. Gratitude keeps you in the present moment, free from the anxiety of wondering when or how your desire will come. It allows you to relax, to trust the process, and to let go of any attachment to the outcome. This state of trust is essential, for desperation repels, while certainty attracts. Everything in life responds to gratitude. The more you appreciate, the more you receive to appreciate. When you live in a state of thankfulness, you naturally attract more things to be thankful for. This is the simple yet profound truth of the universe. Like attracts like. Gratitude is not just an act. It is a vibration, a signal that tells the universe you are already fulfilled. So do not wait until your desire appears to express gratitude. Feel it now. Let it flood your heart. Let it fill your mind. Let it be your constant state. Because when you live in gratitude, you live in the end. And when you live in the end, manifestation is inevitable. Everything you desire is already within reach. The universe is not withholding anything from you. It is simply responding to the state you embody. When you assume your wish is already fulfilled, when you trust without doubt, when you live in the end with unwavering certainty, you align yourself with the reality you seek. Your assumption is the key, your desire is divine, and your belief seals the manifestation. The universe mirrors your inner world, and the moment you shift internally, the external world must follow. Feel gratitude now, not as a reaction, but as a way of being. Speak and think from a place of fulfillment, not lack. Release all hesitation and trust the process fully. What you seek is already seeking you. The only thing required is your alignment with it. Stop waiting, stop doubting, and step into the reality of your creation. Thank you for allowing these words to remind you of your power. Trust in yourself, trust in the unseen forces working on your behalf, and watch as your desires unfold effortlessly. Everything is already yours. All you must do is claim it. There is no greater truth than this. Your reality is shaped by your consciousness. You are not at the mercy of circumstances, nor are you a victim of fate. What appears before you is but the outpicturing of your inner world, the reflection of your assumptions, beliefs, and feelings. Close your eyes and ask yourself, who would I be if I already had all that I desire? What would I feel, think, and do if I were already living my ideal life? Sink into that feeling. Let it become real to you. For what you accept in your imagination as true will harden into fact. There is no power greater than your awareness of being. The moment you claim your desire as yours, not as something distant, not as something to be earned, but as something already accomplished, you set in motion the unseen forces that bring it to pass. Doubt and fear are illusions born from looking at the world as it is rather than as it can be. But when you stand firm in the conviction that your assumption is reality, the world must conform. You do not need to beg, chase, or struggle. Simply assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that state. Ignore the evidence of the senses when they contradict your vision. Know that the unseen is far more real than the seen. And when you wake each morning, let your first thought be gratitude. Gratitude for the life you are already living in consciousness, knowing it is only a matter of time before it appears in the physical world. The greatest truth you can ever embrace is that your imagination is the key to shaping your reality. Everything you experience in your external world is a direct reflection of what you have persistently imagined and felt to be true within yourself. There is no exception to this law. What you hold in mind with conviction, what you assume is real, will eventually manifest in your world. Most people believe that life is something that happens to them. They see themselves as passive participants, reacting to circumstances as they arise. They assume that change must come from effort, from action, from manipulating external conditions. But the truth is far simpler and far more profound. The world does not create your beliefs. Your beliefs create the world. The outer world is nothing more than a mirror, faithfully reflecting back the contents of your inner consciousness. Think of every great innovation, every work of art, every breakthrough in human history. Where did it begin? In the unseen realm of the imagination, a vision held within the mind of one who dared to believe in something beyond what their senses could confirm. They did not wait for proof. They did not ask whether it was possible. They assumed it to be so, and through this assumption the world bent to their belief. You are no different. Right now you possess the same creative power. If you desire a new reality, you must first claim it in your imagination. You must live in the certainty that it is already done. It is not enough to wish. It is not enough to hope. You must assume. To assume is to take something as true without needing external confirmation. It is to walk as though the wish is fulfilled, to think and feel from the state of your desired outcome. Your imagination is not idle. It is the very force that molds your reality. When you persistently imagine yourself as already possessing the life you desire, you begin to align yourself with it in ways unseen. Your actions shift, your energy changes, and the world rearranges itself to accommodate your new assumption. Perhaps you have noticed this in small ways. You think of someone and suddenly they call. You imagine a certain event and within days it unfolds exactly as you pictured it. These are not coincidences. They are glimpses into the power of your mind. The same principle that brings about these small manifestations is at work in every area of your life. The only difference is the level of conviction you hold. Doubt is the only enemy of creation. The moment you entertain thoughts of lack, failure, or impossibility, you halt the process of manifestation. This is why so many remain stuck, caught between their desires and their fears. They affirm what they want, but in the next breath, they contradict it with worry and disbelief. They plant the seed, but dig it up before it has a chance to grow. You must discipline your imagination. You must refuse to dwell in any state that contradicts your wish fulfilled. If you seek abundance, see yourself as abundant now. If you desire love, assume you are already cherished. If you long for success, carry yourself as though it is already yours. Do not wait for the world to change before you believe. Believe, and the world must change. This may feel unnatural. The senses will protest, whispering that nothing has changed. But persist. The unseen is always more real than the seen. Your present circumstances are simply past assumptions solidified into form. If you desire something new, you must persist in a new assumption until it takes root in your reality. This is the law, and it is absolute. Your imagination creates your world. Hold steadfast to your vision, and it must externalize. Assume it is already done, and so it shall be. The secret to manifesting what you desire is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You are not to wish for it, not to hope that one day it will come, but to claim it in consciousness as though it is already yours. The moment you do this, the unseen forces of creation begin to move, and the world will shift to reflect your assumption. This is the great truth that so few understand. Reality is not something you chase after. It is something you embody now. Most people live in a state of waiting. They believe that if they work hard enough, if they prove themselves worthy, then someday they will achieve their goals. They place their desires outside of themselves, always just out of reach. But this way of thinking keeps their dreams forever distant. By placing their wish in the future, they unknowingly affirm its absence in the present. And as long as they continue to see their desire as something that will happen rather than something that is happening now, it remains a possibility rather than a fact. To truly manifest, you must live in the end. This means shifting your identity to match the reality you seek. Instead of longing for wealth, you must think and feel as a wealthy person does. Instead of yearning for love, you must embody the presence of one who is already loved and cherished. It is not enough to merely visualize or affirm. You must step into the feeling of your wish being fulfilled right here and now. Feeling is the secret. If you can generate the emotion, the certainty, the deep knowing that your desire is already yours, then the world must conform to that assumption. Everything you experience is a reflection of your inner state. When you change within, the world must follow. But if you continue to live as though your desire is separate from you, then it will remain separate. Many struggle with this concept because they rely too much on their senses. They look around and see no evidence of change, and so they doubt. But the outer world is always a delayed reflection of the inner world. What you experience now is simply a manifestation of past thoughts and beliefs. If you desire a different reality, you must persist in your new assumption until it hardens into fact. This is not pretending. It is not about fooling yourself or acting as though something is true when you know it is not. It is about knowing that what you assume and persist in must become real. If you can feel it as real in your mind, then it is real. The world has no choice but to align with your inner conviction. Think of how you would behave if your desire were already fulfilled. How would you walk, talk, and carry yourself? How would you feel when you woke up in the morning? What thoughts would fill your mind? This is the state you must assume now. Do not wait for external proof. Become the version of yourself who already has what you seek, and watch as the world reflects it back to you. The moment you fully accept your desires already accomplished, doubt disappears. There is no need to question when or how it will happen. You rest in the assurance that it is done, and you move through life with ease, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. This is the power of living in the end. Circumstances do not matter. They are simply echoes of old assumptions. If you persist in your new state, nothing can stop it from materializing. Your imagination is the only reality, and once you claim your desire within, it must externalize in time. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you will see it manifest in your world. The past is not fixed. It is not a rigid, unchangeable reality that dictates your present and future. It exists only as a collection of memories, mental impressions stored in your consciousness. And because it exists in your mind, you have the power to reshape it. You are not bound by the limitations of what was. At any moment, you can revise your past, and in doing so, alter the course of your life. Most people believe that the past is something they must accept as unchangeable. They think that their failures, their traumas, their disappointments are permanent marks that shape who they are today. But this belief only keeps them trapped in a cycle of limitation. They relive the same struggles, carrying the weight of old wounds because they do not realize that they have the power to rewrite their story. Revision is the act of mentally reconstructing an event to reflect the outcome you wish had occurred. It is not about denying what happened, but about choosing to see it differently. Since your memory of an event is just an impression in your mind, altering that impression changes the way it affects you. And because your inner world shapes your outer reality, this shift in perception begins to transform your present and future experiences. If you replay an old failure in your mind and feel the same disappointment, you are keeping that failure alive in your consciousness. Every time you dwell on the pain, you reinforce it as a part of your identity. But if instead you revise the memory, imagining a different outcome where you succeeded, where you were strong, where things unfolded in your favor, you are planting a new seed in your subconscious. Over time, this new version of events becomes dominant, and your life begins to reflect it. This is not wishful thinking. It is an active, deliberate process of reshaping your assumptions about yourself and your life. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It only accepts what you consistently impress upon it. When you revise a memory and persist in feeling the new version as true, your subconscious reprograms itself accordingly. The emotional charge of the old event fades and a new pattern takes its place. If you were once rejected, revise the memory to one where you were embraced and appreciated. If you suffered loss, imagine that the outcome was different, that what you desired remained yours. If you made a mistake, see yourself acting wisely and confidently instead. Feel the relief, the joy, the triumph, as if it had truly happened that way. The more you do this, the more your reality will shift to align with your revised assumption. Perhaps you wonder, how can changing a memory affect my present life? The answer is simple. Your state of being is determined by what you believe to be true. When you alter your past in consciousness, you shift your belief system. And since your outer world is always a reflection of your inner world, your present and future must rearrange themselves to match your new state. Many people have experienced radical changes simply by revising their past. Relationships have healed, financial struggles have turned into abundance, and personal limitations have dissolved, all because they stopped accepting their past as an unchangeable fact and began to rewrite it according to their desires. This is the power of revision. It frees you from the burden of the past and opens the door to new possibilities. It allows you to reclaim your power and shape your life deliberately. There is nothing outside of you that has authority over your destiny. You are the creator, and your imagination is your tool. At any moment, you can look back on your life and decide to see a different version of events. Choose the one that empowers you. Choose the one that aligns with the life you wish to live. Revise persistently and watch as your world transforms before your eyes. Most people believe that success requires effort, that they must struggle, push, and fight to achieve what they want. This belief is so deeply ingrained that they measure progress by how hard they work and how much they suffer. But this way of thinking is an illusion. Struggle does not create, faith does. It is not effort that brings your desires into reality, but the unwavering belief that what you seek is already yours. When you desire something, your natural inclination may be to chase after it, to take excessive action, to force things into place. But this very effort is what keeps your manifestation at a distance. Why? Because effort implies lack. It is rooted in the belief that you do not yet have what you want, that you must earn it or prove yourself worthy of it. And as long as you hold on to this belief, your reality will continue to reflect that state of lack. Faith, on the other hand, requires no struggle. It is the quiet, confident knowing that what you assume to be true must come to pass. It is the absolute trust that your desire already exists in the unseen and is making its way into physical reality. Faith is effortless, and because it is effortless, it allows manifestations to flow freely into your life without resistance. Consider a gardener who plants a seed. He does not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. He does not stand over it anxiously, wondering if it will sprout. He simply trusts the process. He waters it, gives it sunlight, and waits, knowing that in due time it will bloom. The same principle applies to your desires. The moment you assume your wish fulfilled, the seed is planted. Your job is not to force it to grow, but to rest in the certainty that it will. The reason so many struggle with manifestation is that they oscillate between faith and doubt. They affirm their desires one moment, but the next they question whether it is really possible. They look to the external world for signs, and if they see nothing, they assume that nothing is happening. But manifestation does not work this way. The outer world is always a reflection of your inner state. If you believe you must struggle, your reality will provide endless obstacles. But if you trust that your assumption is already fact, the world will shape itself accordingly. True faith is unwavering. It does not seek reassurance from circumstances. It does not demand proof. It does not wonder when or how things will happen. It simply knows. And when you reach this state of inner certainty, manifestations come effortlessly. You no longer feel the need to force results because you already dwell in the feeling of having received them. Many who struggle with faith believe they must do something extra to make their desires come true. But doing is secondary, being is primary. It is not about taking endless action, but about embodying the state of already having. When you become the person who has what you desire, when you think, feel, and act as though it is already done, you naturally align with the reality in which it exists. From this state, inspired action arises effortlessly. Faith does not mean inaction. It means aligned action. It means acting from the knowing that your desire is a certainty, not from the fear that it may never happen. When you move with faith, every step feels natural, easy, and joyful. There is no desperation, no forcing, only a calm assurance that all is unfolding perfectly. This is why those who manifest easily are not the ones who strive the hardest, but the ones who believe the deepest. They do not let their senses deceive them. They do not question whether their manifestation is coming. They assume it is done, and because they do, it becomes their reality. The moment you release effort and replace it with faith, everything changes. The struggle ends and the flow begins. Your only task is to assume, believe, and rest in the certainty that it is already yours. Let go of force, release the need to control, and trust that what you have claimed in consciousness must manifest in form. It is already done. The world you see around you is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your inner state. It is not separate from you, nor is it something you must fight against. Your reality is shaped by the assumptions, beliefs, and feelings you hold within. If you do not like what you see in the outer world, the answer is not to struggle with it, but to change the inner world from which it arises. Most people make the mistake of reacting to their current circumstances as if they are permanent and unchangeable. They allow what they see to dictate what they believe is possible. If they experience lack, they assume that abundance is out of reach. If they are lonely, they accept isolation as their fate. If their desires seem far away, they believe that distance is real. But all of this is an illusion. The outer world is nothing more than a projection of what you have impressed upon your subconscious mind. Your reality does not exist independently of you. It is shaped and molded by your inner state. If you continue to focus on what is, you will only create more of the same. But if you shift your focus to what you desire and persist in that assumption regardless of appearances, your world must eventually conform. To ignore the outer world does not mean to pretend it does not exist. It means refusing to let it control your inner state. It means understanding that circumstances are not fixed, that they are merely the reflection of past assumptions, and that they will change the moment you assume something new. If you are in debt and wish to experience financial abundance, you must not dwell on your current lack. You must not let the numbers in your bank account shake your faith. Instead, you must persist in the feeling of already being prosperous. You must see yourself as someone who already possesses wealth, and you must hold on to that assumption, even when the world shows you the opposite. If you are longing for love, you must not focus on loneliness. You must not seek validation from the outer world before believing you are loved. Instead, you must dwell in the state of already being cherished and adored. You must assume that love is yours and persist in that assumption until the world reshapes itself to reflect it. This is the key, persistence in the unseen. The moment you assume your desire is already yours, it is done. But if you allow external circumstances to make you doubt, you push your manifestation away. The world will always reflect what you most consistently believe to be true. The great mistake is to wait for external confirmation before believing. Those who understand the nature of reality do not seek proof in the world around them. They create proof by first believing. They do not let what is dictate what will be. They assume what they desire, and they persist in that assumption until it becomes their experience. Many people give up too soon. They assume their desire for a brief moment, but when they do not see instant results, they return to doubt. They allow the outer world to convince them that their assumption was false. But this is like planting a seed and then digging it up every day to check if it is growing. The process takes time. Reality must rearrange itself. And if you persist, it will. There is no power outside of you. Nothing in the world has the ability to stop your manifestation except your own doubt. The only thing you must do is remain faithful to the unseen. Live in the certainty that what you have assumed is already true. Ignore the contradictions of the physical world, knowing they are temporary shadows of past thoughts. Hold firm to your vision and do not waver. Refuse to be influenced by appearances. Stay centered in the belief that what you have claimed in consciousness is already yours. And in time, the world will have no choice but to reflect it back to you. Your entire experience of life is determined by one thing, your consciousness. It is not luck, fate, or external circumstances that shape your reality. It is the way you see yourself. Who you believe yourself to be is the foundation upon which everything in your world is built. If you desire change, you must start within. Most people attempt to change their lives by focusing on external conditions. They seek new jobs, new relationships, or more money, believing that these things will bring them happiness. But no lasting change can come from rearranging the outer world while remaining the same internally. The world is only a mirror. It does not create, it only reflects. If you see yourself as unworthy, you will continue to experience lack. If you see yourself as powerless, you will always feel at the mercy of circumstances. But the moment you shift your self-concept, your reality must shift with you. Your self-concept is the collection of beliefs you hold about yourself. It determines what you expect, what you accept, and what you experience. If you believe yourself to be confident, opportunities will naturally come to you. If you believe yourself to be successful, success will follow. If you believe yourself to be loved, love will manifest in your life effortlessly. It is not the world that must change first, it is you. Consider the person who constantly struggles with money. No matter how hard they work or how many opportunities come their way, they always find themselves in financial distress. It is not because they lack ability or intelligence. It is because they see themselves as someone who struggles. Their subconscious mind, accepting this self-image as truth, ensures that their reality reflects it. Even if they receive a large sum of money, they will soon find a way to lose it, because their inner concept of self does not match the state of abundance. Imagine that same person decides to change their self-concept. Instead of seeing themselves as someone who struggles, they assume the identity of someone who is financially free. They dwell in the feeling of abundance, making it their natural state. Over time, this shift in self-perception changes the way they think, act, and respond to the world. They begin to attract opportunities effortlessly. They manage money wisely. They make decisions that align with wealth. And as a result, their outer world transforms to match their new inner state. This principle applies to every area of life. If you struggle with relationships, it is not because love is unavailable to you, it is because your self-concept does not align with being loved. If you see yourself as unworthy or undesirable, the world will reflect that back to you. But the moment you assume the identity of someone who is deeply loved and cherished, reality will rearrange itself to confirm that assumption. Many believe that change is difficult, that it takes years of hard work. But transformation is instant the moment you accept a new self-concept. The only reason change appears slow is because people waver between their old identity and their new one. They affirm new beliefs but then fall back into their previous assumptions. The key is persistence. You must consistently dwell in the feeling of your desired self, refusing to accept any reality that contradicts it. The world cannot help but conform to your self-concept. It is a law as certain as gravity. Who you believe yourself to be determines what you experience. Change your concept of self and everything around you will shift accordingly. You do not need to force things to happen. You do not need to struggle. Simply assume the state of the person you wish to be, persist in that assumption, and allow reality to reflect it back to you. Your consciousness is the key. Use it wisely. Your reality is not shaped by chance, nor is it dictated by forces outside of you. Everything you experience is a direct reflection of your inner world, your assumptions, your beliefs, and your state of being. The key to manifesting your dream life lies in understanding and applying these principles with unwavering faith. Imagination creates reality, so dwell in the vision of what you desire as if it were already true. Live in the end assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, rather than waiting for the world to show you proof. The past holds no power over you unless you choose to keep it alive. Revise your memories and your present and future will shift accordingly. Let go of struggle, for faith is stronger than effort. Trust that what you have assumed is already unfolding. Ignore the outer world when it contradicts your vision, and persist in the unseen. And above all, recognize that your consciousness is the key. Who you believe yourself to be determines what you will experience. There is nothing to chase, nothing to force, nothing to fear. Align with the reality you desire, and it must unfold effortlessly. You are always creating, so create deliberately, create with confidence, and create with the certainty that your dream life is already yours. Thank you. There was a time when my bank account showed nothing but numbers too small to matter. I had desires, dreams, and ambitions, but the world around me seemed to say, not yet. I tried everything, work, struggle, effort. But all I found was resistance. Until one day I realized the truth. The world is only reflecting me. If I see lack, it is because I have spoken lack into existence. If I see delay, it is because I have assumed delay as my truth. I put aside doubt, fear, and effort. Instead, I whispered 3 words, 3 simple words that shattered the illusion of limitation. I spoke them morning and night, not as a plea, but as a declaration. I spoke them as if my wealth was already here, already mine. I felt the words vibrate in my chest, radiating outwards, bending reality to match the conviction within me. Nothing outside of me mattered anymore. Days passed, then weeks. I did not check my bank account, nor did I question when or how. My only job was to remain in the knowing. Then, out of nowhere, it happened. The first opportunity came, effortless, unexpected. A deal, a connection, a flow of money I could not have predicted, and then another, until one day, my reality reflected exactly what I had spoken. I said them as if the wealth was already in my hands, as if I was already the person who owned it. And because I believed, the world had no choice but to comply. This is your power. If you can assume, believe, and declare it done, without wavering, without questioning, the universe must obey. So today, forget struggle, forget effort, stand in your power and say, it is done. Feel it, believe it, and then watch as the world reshapes itself to match the truth you have spoken. Every word you speak is a decree, a command shaping the unseen forces that mold your reality. You may not realize it, but the words you utter, whether in passing or with deep conviction, set the course for what appears in your life. Words are not just sounds that dissipate into the air. They are vibrations that move through the fabric of existence, calling forth circumstances, opportunities, and experiences in perfect alignment with what has been declared. Most people speak carelessly, unaware that their words are painting the canvas of their lives. They say, "I'm always broke," and reality obediently reflects their statement. They say, "Nothing ever works out for me," and the world rearranges itself to confirm that belief. But there's no magic in lack. There is only the power of assumption turned in the wrong direction. What if instead of affirming struggle, you began to declare abundance? What if you chose your words with precision, as a master craftsman chooses his tools? To understand the true power of spoken words, you must grasp that they are not just expressions of your current state, but seeds of your future. The words you speak today will become the reality you live tomorrow. It is an immutable law. You have seen this principle in action, even if you were unaware of it. Think back to a time when you spoke of an outcome with certainty, whether good or bad, and it came to pass exactly as you had declared. That was not coincidence, that was manifestation. The subconscious mind is always listening, absorbing every word you say, taking it as an instruction. It does not distinguish between what you want and what you fear. It simply hears and obeys. When you say, "I can't afford this," your mind registers lack and ensures you remain in that state. When you say, "I am always in the right place at the right time," life begins to align in ways that confirm your words. Consider the example of those who have risen from nothing to great wealth. More often than not, they spoke their success into existence long before they saw any evidence of it. They declared their wealth when the world still called them poor. They insisted on their prosperity when reality suggested otherwise. But their words carried weight because they were spoken with belief. The key is not simply to say words, but to say them with conviction. Words that are empty of belief carry no creative power, but words spoken with faith become living things. They take shape in the unseen, drawing to you people, opportunities, and circumstances that match the reality you have declared. If you truly understood this, you would never again speak against yourself. You would never again say, "I am unlucky," or "I don't deserve success." You would refuse to use words that diminish you, limit you, or hold you back. Instead, you would speak only of what you desire, as if it were already yours. You would say, "I am prosperous," even when there is no physical evidence. You would say, "Everything is working out for me," even when things seem uncertain. The external world is nothing but a mirror reflecting your inner state. It cannot show you what you have not first declared. Change your words and you will change your life. The universe is listening, always waiting for your command. Speak wisely, for every word is a prophecy. The world around you is not fixed. It is a direct reflection of the assumptions you hold within. Everything you experience, every circumstance you encounter, is the outpicturing of your inner state. If you want to change your reality, you must first change what you assume to be true. This is the great secret. What you assume with feeling and persistence becomes your experience. You are not waiting for your desire to materialize. You are stepping into the version of yourself where it already exists. Most people live their lives believing they must work towards their desires, striving, hoping, and wishing. But this is backward thinking. The moment you place something outside of yourself as something to be attained, you create a gap between you and it. And as long as you perceive that gap, it remains unfulfilled. The key is to assume that what you desire is already yours. Not in the future, not someday, but now. You must take on the feeling, the inner knowing that your wish is already accomplished. Think of someone who is wealthy. They do not wake up wondering if they will have enough. They do not question whether or not they can afford something. They live with the quiet confidence of abundance. It is not an effortful state. It is natural to them. If you desire wealth, you must assume the state of the wealthy person now. You must walk, talk, and think from that reality, not towards it, from it. Bhavani thinks it. This is not pretending or daydreaming. This is embodiment. There is a distinct difference between hoping for something and knowing it is already yours. Hoping keeps it at a distance. Knowing draws it into your world. The law of assumption states that when you fully accept a reality within yourself, the outer world has no choice but to reflect it. It is an unbreakable law. Many have used this truth to transform their lives. A man who was struggling with financial hardship did not focus on his lack, nor did he wait for some external force to change his conditions. He assumed wealth. He did not merely say the words, he felt it. He moved through his day with the confidence of a man who already had everything he needed. He made decisions as though money was not an issue. He spoke, acted, and thought from a place of financial security. And soon opportunities arose, ideas flowed, and wealth found its way to him. The world conformed to his new inner state. The same principle applies to health, relationships, success, everything. If you desire love, you must assume you are already loved. Not that love will come, but that it is already present in your life. You must feel the warmth, the joy, the fulfillment of being in that perfect relationship. The one who constantly wonders when love will arrive is assuming its absence, and so it remains absent. But the one who knows they are deeply loved will see it manifest effortlessly. Your only job is to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is not hard work, it is simply a shift in awareness. Close your eyes and see yourself living the life you desire. How do you feel? What do you hear? How do you move through the world? Take that feeling and carry it with you. Let it become your dominant state. Do not waver. Do not look to the outside world for validation. Assume it is done, and it must be. Reality is not happening to you, it is responding to you. The moment you shift your assumption, the world shifts to match it. Do not wait for proof. Assume it now, feel it deeply, and it will materialize with absolute certainty. Your mind is like a fertile field, and the words you repeat are the seeds that take root and grow into the reality you experience. The subconscious mind does not question, it does not argue, it simply accepts what it is given. It is the silent architect of your life, constructing your experiences based on the thoughts, beliefs, and affirmations you feed it. The more you repeat something, the more your subconscious mind accepts it as truth, and once it accepts something as truth, it must externalize it into your world. Most people unknowingly use this principle against themselves. They repeatedly affirm things they do not want, reinforcing limitations and struggles without realizing they are the ones keeping these conditions alive. They say, I can never catch a break, money is hard to come by, or I always attract the wrong people. These words, spoken over and over, imprint upon the subconscious mind, which then ensures that reality mirrors these assumptions. It is not a matter of luck or fate, it is simply the law of repetition in action. But what if you use this power consciously? What if, instead of reinforcing lack and limitation, you began to affirm abundance, success, and happiness? The same law that keeps people stuck can also set them free. The subconscious mind does not care whether you are affirming wealth or poverty, love or loneliness. It will accept whatever you tell it, provided you repeat it enough times. Repetition is the key. When you first begin affirming a new belief, it may feel unnatural. You may not yet believe it, and your current reality may contradict what you are saying, but this does not matter. The subconscious mind does not work with logic, it works with persistence. If you continue repeating a statement, eventually it will bypass the conscious mind's resistance and become embedded as a deep-rooted belief. And once something is a belief, it becomes effortless. Consider someone who has achieved great success. They did not get there by accident. Consciously or unconsciously, they affirmed their success long before it was visible. They spoke words of confidence, certainty, and achievement. They persisted in these declarations until their mind accepted them as fact. And once their mind accepted them, reality had no choice but to align. The secret is consistency. You cannot affirm something once and expect immediate results. Just as you do not go to the gym once and expect a transformed body, you must train your mind with repetition. Every time you say, I am wealthy, I am loved, or everything works out for me, you are reinforcing a new mental blueprint, and just like water carving stone, repetition will reshape your subconscious patterns over time. The best way to use this power is to make affirmations a part of your daily life. Say them when you wake up, throughout the day, and before you go to sleep. Write them down, speak them aloud, think them in your mind. The more you immerse yourself in these new thoughts, the faster they take hold. Even if doubt arises, continue. Even if your current circumstances seem unchanged, persist. Your mind is always listening, and with enough repetition, it will believe what you tell it. Many people have transformed their lives with this simple practice. They have gone from lack to abundance, from loneliness to love, from struggle to ease, all by repeatedly affirming a new reality until it became second nature. And once something is second nature, it manifests effortlessly. You do not need to force change. You only need to persist in speaking what you desire until your subconscious mind accepts it. Once it does, it will work tirelessly to make it real. This is the power of repetition. What you say consistently, you become. Speak wisely, for your words are the seeds of your future. Words alone do not create reality. Feeling does. You may repeat affirmations 1,000 times, but if they are empty words without feeling, they remain lifeless. It is the emotion behind your words that gives them power. Your subconscious mind is moved not by mere repetition, but by the intensity of belief and feeling attached to what you say. Think of a moment when you felt deep love, overwhelming joy, or immense gratitude. Those emotions were so real that they shaped your entire perception of the world in that instant. Now imagine applying that same intensity of feeling to the things you desire. If you can feel the reality of your wish fulfilled before it physically appears, you set the wheels of manifestation in motion. The universe does not respond to your words alone, it responds to the energy behind them. Most people live in a cycle of desire and doubt. They want something, but as they affirm it, they feel lack instead of fulfillment. They say, I am wealthy, but their inner feeling is one of scarcity. They say, I am loved, but deep down they feel alone. This is why many struggle to manifest their desires. They are speaking one thing, but feeling another. And it is the feeling that manifests. The law is not that you get what you say, it is that you get what you feel to be true. Feeling is the secret ingredient that transforms a mere thought into an unquestionable reality. If you want to manifest wealth, you must not only affirm it, you must feel wealthy now. Walk as though you already have all that you need. Feel the relief, the security, the excitement of abundance flowing through your life. If you desire love, you must feel the warmth, connection, and joy of being in a loving relationship now. The world cannot bring you something you are not already feeling within. This is why visualization is so powerful. When you close your eyes and see yourself living your desired reality, do not just see it, feel it. Engage all your senses. If you are manifesting success, imagine the feeling of shaking hands with someone congratulating you. Hear their words of praise. Feel the satisfaction in your heart. If you are manifesting a new home, feel the texture of the walls. Hear the sound of your footsteps echoing in the rooms. Breathe in the fresh scent of the space. The more real it feels to you, the faster it must come to pass. Doubt is what delays manifestation. When you affirm something but feel the opposite, you are sending mixed signals. The key is to persist in the feeling of your wish fulfilled until it becomes natural. In the beginning, it may feel like you are pretending, but as you continue, your subconscious mind begins to accept it. Once your assumption feels natural, your world shifts to match it. Have you ever noticed how a person deeply in love glows with happiness? Or how someone who truly believes in their success moves with confidence before they even achieve it? This is the power of emotion in action. They are not waiting for external proof. They feel it first, and reality follows. You do not need to see evidence to believe. Believe first and the evidence will come. This is the essence of manifestation. It is not about waiting for circumstances to change before you feel joy, wealth, or love. It is about generating those emotions now so that your reality has no choice but to conform. Whatever you desire, feel it now. Immerse yourself in the joy of having it. Let that feeling become familiar. Speak your desires with deep conviction, not as something you hope for, but as something you already possess. Once you make the shift from wishing to knowing, from hoping to feeling, your manifestation becomes inevitable. Reality must match the state of mind you dwell in. Choose to dwell in the state of already having what you seek, and soon the world will reflect it back to you. The world you see around you is not fixed. It is merely a reflection of the beliefs you have previously held. Everything in your external reality, from the circumstances you face to the people you encounter, is a projection of the assumptions you have accepted as true. But here is the key. What you see now is only the result of past thoughts. It is not a permanent condition, nor is it a limitation. If you wish to change your life, you must learn to ignore what is currently in front of you and place your focus entirely on the reality you desire to create. Most people live reactively. They look at their circumstances and allow them to dictate their thoughts and emotions. If they see lack, they feel poor. If they see rejection, they feel unworthy. If they see failure, they assume they are incapable. But this is the trap, believing that the world is happening to them rather than realizing that they are the ones shaping it. They remain stuck in a cycle, reinforcing what already exists by continuously acknowledging and reacting to it. To manifest a new reality, you must break this cycle. You must stop giving so much attention to what is and instead focus on what you want to be. This is not about denial, it is about shifting your awareness. If you desire wealth but your bank account shows otherwise, do not dwell on the number you see, do not speak of it, do not stress over it, and do not allow it to define your state of mind. Instead, assume the feeling of already being financially abundant. Walk as if you are already living in that reality, and let your emotions align with it. When you understand that the physical world is nothing more than a mirror of past beliefs, you gain the power to transcend it. Just as a mirror cannot change on its own, your external world will not shift until your internal assumptions do. If you stand in front of a mirror frowning, you cannot wait for the reflection to smile first. You must smile, and then the reflection will change. The same is true with your life. You must first become the person who has what you desire in mind and feeling, before the outer world reflects it back to you. This requires discipline. It requires you to refuse to be fooled by appearances and instead place your faith in the unseen. The moment you declare something as yours, the process of its manifestation begins. But if you allow doubt to creep in, if you look around and say, "I don't see it yet, so it must not be working," you undo your progress. The seed is planted the moment you assume your desire is real. You do not dig up a seed every day to check if it is growing. You trust the process. You water it, nurture it, and know that it will emerge in time. Faith is the bridge between your current reality and the reality you desire. It is the ability to believe in what you do not yet see and persist in that belief until it becomes visible. Those who master this principle understand that reality is fluid, not fixed. They do not allow temporary circumstances to shake their conviction. They know that if they hold fast to their assumption, the world must conform to it. Ignore the current reality if it does not align with what you want. See it for what it is, a passing reflection of old thoughts, not a life sentence. Dare to believe in the unseen, to persist in your new assumption, even when there is no physical proof. And if you do this consistently, the world will have no choice but to shift in response. Your faith in your new reality makes it real. Hold on to that, and soon what once was unseen will become the only reality you know. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between desire and reality. It is the unwavering conviction that what you seek already exists, even when there is no physical evidence of it. Faith is not passive hope. It is not wishing for something to happen while fearing that it may not. True faith is knowing so deeply that doubt cannot take root. It is standing firm in the assumption that what you have declared as yours is already done. The greatest obstacle to manifestation is doubt. The moment you entertain doubt, you weaken your creative power. You may affirm your desires, visualize them, and speak them into existence, but if, in the back of your mind, you question whether it will happen, you slow the process. Doubt is like uprooting a seed after planting it, constantly checking if it is growing. Faith, on the other hand, is the gardener who plants the seed, waters it, and knows it will bloom in time. The key to manifestation is to see with the inner eye, not the outer eye. The outer eye sees the current reality, the circumstances, the limitations. But the inner eye sees what is becoming. It sees beyond the present moment into the realm of possibilities. And here lies the greatest secret. Whatever you see inwardly with certainty must be made real outwardly. Many people make the mistake of letting their senses dictate what they believe. They look at their bank account, their relationships, their environment, and allow what they see to determine what is possible for them. But faith works the other way around. Faith declares, "It is already mine," and persists in that belief even when the outer world suggests otherwise. The universe does not give you what you wish for, it gives you what you believe with certainty. Faith is more than just positive thinking. It is a deep inner conviction so strong that it cannot be shaken. It is the absolute refusal to entertain any reality other than the one you have chosen. A person with faith moves differently. They do not beg, chase, or force things to happen. They do not react in fear when circumstances seem unfavorable. Instead, they stand firm in their assumption, knowing that the unseen reality is more real than what their eyes currently perceive. This is why those who manifest effortlessly are not the ones who try harder. They are the ones who believe without wavering. They do not need reassurance from the outside world because they have already settled the matter internally. Their conviction is unshakable. When they say, "I am wealthy," they feel wealthy before the money arrives. When they say, "I am loved," they feel love before the relationship appears. They live from the end, acting as though their desire is already theirs, and because of this, reality bends to match their assumption. The moment you accept something is true in your inner world, the outer world begins to rearrange itself to reflect that truth. This is the law. But most people sabotage themselves by allowing fear and doubt to creep in. They affirm their desires in the morning, but worry about them in the evening. They say they believe, but deep down they wonder when it will happen, how it will happen, or if they are doing something wrong. And in doing so, they delay their own manifestation. Faith is the absence of doubt. It is not concerned with how or when. It does not seek reassurance from external conditions. It simply knows. And this knowing is what speeds up manifestation. When you truly believe something is already yours, you stop searching for proof. You stop second guessing. You stop living in a state of waiting. You become the person who has already received it. And once you fully step into that state, the physical world must conform. This is the power of faith. It does not beg, it commands. It does not hope, it knows. It does not waver, it stands firm. When you cultivate this level of conviction, nothing is impossible. The unseen becomes seen, and what once seemed distant arrives effortlessly. Hold on to your faith with unshakable certainty, and reality will bow to your belief. Everything you desire is already yours the moment you claim it in consciousness. The words you speak, the beliefs you hold, and the emotions you embody shape the reality you experience. The physical world is not set in stone. It is merely a reflection of past assumptions. When you understand this, you stop reacting to circumstances and start creating them. The secret to manifestation lies in unwavering faith, the ability to see the unseen and persist in your assumption despite appearances. Repetition reprograms the mind, emotion fuels the manifestation, and assumption brings it into reality. Doubt slows the process, but certainty accelerates it. The moment you stop looking for proof and start living as if it is already done, the universe aligns to bring your vision to life. Ignore the present if it does not match your desire. Hold steadfast to your chosen reality. Speak it, feel it, and walk as though it is already yours. The world will have no choice but to reflect your conviction. Thank you for listening, and remember, what you assume to be true becomes your truth. There was a time when I, like many, believed that wealth was something to chase. I believed it required effort, struggle, and endless planning. But then I discovered a secret so profound yet so simple. It was never about the effort. It was always about the word. One night, in quiet reflection, I decided to put this to the test. I closed my eyes and spoke a simple phrase. Money flows to me in endless abundance. I said it not as a hope, not as a wish, but as a fact. I let the words sink deep into my being, and then I let it go. The next day, opportunities came out of nowhere. Unexpected checks arrived. Clients I had long forgotten reached out, and money seemed to flow effortlessly. It was as if reality itself had been waiting for me to command it. You see, most people beg, they wish, they plead, but that is not how creation works. You do not need to convince the universe. You simply declare, and it is so. Money is not something you earn through struggle, it is something you align with. And alignment comes from the words you continuously speak and believe. So I tell you now, speak as if it is already yours. Speak as if the wealth you desire is simply waiting for you to acknowledge it. Declare it with certainty, and let the unseen forces bring it into your world. And when you do, you will experience the same revelation I did. I just said these words, and the money just kept coming. Your words hold immense power. Every syllable you speak, every thought you reinforce, shapes the reality that unfolds before you. The spoken word is not just sound. It is a force that imprints itself upon the subconscious mind, which in turn influences the very fabric of your existence. Consider for a moment the way the world reacts to your words. When you declare something with unwavering conviction, you set a command in motion, one that your subconscious mind accepts as truth. The subconscious does not argue, it does not question, it simply follows the direction given to it. If you repeatedly affirm lack, limitation, and struggle, the subconscious mind assumes that is what you desire, and so it faithfully reflects those conditions back to you in your daily life. But when you declare abundance, when you speak wealth into existence as if it is already yours, the subconscious mind shifts accordingly. It begins to seek and attract the people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with the truth you have spoken. And when this shift occurs, reality bends to match the assumption you have planted within yourself. You have seen this happen before, even if you did not realize it. Think of a time when you convinced yourself that something bad was going to happen. Perhaps you were worried about a financial loss, a failed opportunity, or a rejection. You may have spoken about it to others, reinforcing the fear, repeating the negative expectation until, almost as if by magic, it came to pass. And when it did, you confirmed your belief, saying, I knew this would happen, but was it truly inevitable? Or did your spoken word, backed by the power of belief, create the very outcome you feared? Imagine using this same power in your favor. Imagine speaking success, wealth, and abundance into your life with the same certainty. Instead of saying, I never have enough, you declare, money flows to me effortlessly and in abundance. Instead of saying, nothing ever works out for me, you affirm, everything I touch prospers and opportunities come to me easily. The logical mind may resist. It will look at current conditions and whisper, this isn't true. But the truth is not found in external appearances. It is created from within. The more you repeat these affirmations with conviction, the deeper they imprint upon your subconscious. And once imprinted, your world begins to shift. The key is consistency. One cannot plant a seed and expect an instant harvest. The seed must be nurtured, watered, given time to grow. So it is with your words. You must persist, repeating your affirmations daily, speaking them with feeling until they become second nature. This is not wishful thinking, it is the principle by which reality is shaped. The great minds of history understood this. They spoke their visions into existence long before the world saw them manifest. They did not wait for proof before believing. They believed first, and the proof followed. Doubt is the only thing that can halt this process. The moment you speak wealth into existence but then contradict it with words of worry, you plant conflicting seeds and the subconscious does not know which command to follow. This is why unwavering faith is essential. Speak only what you wish to experience. You are always creating, whether you are aware of it or not. Every word you speak, every phrase you repeat, is a declaration to the universe. The question is, are you speaking in alignment with the life you want, or are you reinforcing the very limitations you wish to escape? Choose your words wisely. Speak with confidence, with certainty, as if what you desire is already here. And when you do, you will find that reality has no choice but to conform to the truth you have declared. When you desire something, the key to bringing it into your reality is not to wish, hope, or long for it. It is to assume that it is already done. This is not a mere trick of the mind, it is a fundamental principle that governs how reality unfolds. The moment you speak and think as if your desire is already fulfilled, you shift your consciousness into alignment with it, and the world begins to reflect that assumption back to you. Most people make the mistake of focusing on the absence of what they want. They say, I wish I had more money, or I hope I find love someday, or I want success but I don't know how to get there. These statements, though seemingly harmless, reinforce the idea that the desired outcome is separate from them. They place what they want in the realm of the future, always just out of reach, never fully possessed. But when you assume it is already done, you collapse that perceived separation. You no longer chase after what you desire, you embody it. Instead of saying, I wish I had wealth, you affirm, I am wealthy. Money flows to me easily and abundantly. Instead of longing for love, you declare, I am loved deeply and fully. Instead of hoping for success, you say, I am successful. Everything I do prospers. This may feel unnatural because your physical senses will argue otherwise. You may look at your bank account and see lack. You may look at your surroundings and see no evidence of your desire manifesting. But reality does not change first. Your inner state does. The moment you convince yourself internally that it is already yours, the external world begins to shift in response. Think of it this way. When an actor takes on a role, they fully embody the character. They do not hesitate or second guess. They assume the identity of the person they are playing. And the more naturally they do this, the more convincing they become. Likewise, when you assume your desire is already yours, you are taking on the role of the person who has what you want. You are shifting from being someone who lacks to someone who possesses. The key to making this assumption feel natural is repetition and feeling. If you tell yourself something over and over with conviction, it eventually becomes second nature. This is why people who constantly affirm their limitations stay stuck in them, because they have convinced themselves those limitations are real. But you can just as easily convince yourself of abundance, success, and fulfillment. When you wake up in the morning, begin your day by assuming it is already done. Walk as though you are already the person you wish to be. If you desire wealth, carry yourself as someone who is wealthy, not in arrogance, but in quiet confidence. If you desire love, move through the world as someone who is already deeply loved, not as someone searching for validation. If you desire success, work with the mindset that success is inevitable, not something you must struggle to obtain. The speed at which your assumption manifests depends on how natural it feels to you. If you still hold doubts, if you still entertain the idea that your desire is far away, you delay the process. But when your assumption becomes your dominant belief, When it feels as natural as breathing, reality has no choice but to conform. Nothing is outside of your reach. The only thing separating you from your desire is the belief that it is separate. Assume it is done. Live from that state of certainty. And as you do, you will witness the unseen forces of the universe rearrange circumstances in your favor, bringing what you have assumed into physical reality. There is a common misconception that wealth, success, and abundance require struggle, that one must chase, grind, and fight endlessly to achieve them. But this belief itself creates resistance, pushing what you desire further away. The truth is, what you chase will always elude you. What you affirm as already present will flow effortlessly into your life. This is the essence of faith over force. Faith is not wishful thinking. It is a deep inner knowing that what you seek is already yours. When you have faith, you do not beg for wealth, nor do you anxiously pursue it. Instead, you declare its presence in your life with certainty. You affirm, money comes to me easily and abundantly, rather than, I need more money. You say, opportunities flow effortlessly into my life, rather than, I must struggle to succeed. Struggle stems from a mindset of lack. When you feel the need to force something into existence, you are operating from the belief that it is separate from you. You are affirming its absence rather than its presence. The more you believe you must fight for wealth, the more resistance you create. But faith dissolves resistance. Faith says it is already done and allows the flow of abundance to come naturally. Think of a river. When you relax and flow with the current, you move effortlessly. But if you try to fight against it, you exhaust yourself and make no real progress. The same principle applies to wealth and success. Those who force, who chase, who desperately grasp, often find themselves stuck. But those who trust, who believe, who affirm with confidence, experience ease and abundance. Faith does not mean inaction. It does not mean you sit idly and do nothing. Rather, it means you act from a place of assurance, not desperation. When you trust that wealth is already flowing toward you, your actions become aligned with that truth. You move with confidence, not fear. You make decisions boldly, not anxiously. You see opportunities clearly, rather than blocking them with doubt. Your words and thoughts must reflect this trust. If you constantly speak of how hard life is, how difficult it is to make money, how unfair circumstances are, you are reinforcing struggle. But if you speak from a place of certainty, if you say, wealth is my birthright, prosperity is always finding me, then your reality begins to shift. People often admire those who seem to attract success effortlessly, as if they have some secret advantage. But the truth is, their advantage is internal. They expect wealth, so it comes. They assume success, so it manifests. They are not forcing it, they are allowing it. You must embody this mindset. Let go of the idea that struggle is necessary. Replace force with faith. Begin affirming daily and consistently that abundance is already here. When doubt arises, remind yourself, I do not chase, I attract. Everything I desire flows to me in divine timing. Your world is simply a mirror reflecting your inner state. If you believe wealth is difficult to attain, it will be. If you believe it comes with ease, it will. You do not need to manipulate circumstances, you only need to change your assumptions. The moment you truly believe you are abundant, wealth will appear in ways you never expected. The choice is always yours. Struggle or trust, force or faith. Choose faith. Choose ease. Speak abundance, feel its presence, and then watch as it effortlessly flows into your life. Your mind is constantly absorbing and reflecting the thoughts you impress upon it. Whatever you repeat with conviction becomes your reality. This is why repetition is so powerful. It takes a mere thought or statement and turns it into a deeply held belief. And once something is believed at the subconscious level, The outer world must conform to it. Consider the things you currently accept as true. Many of them were not always your beliefs, but they became so through repetition. Perhaps growing up you heard certain ideas about money, love, or success, and because they were repeated often, they became your reality. If you were constantly told that money is hard to come by, then that belief likely shaped your experience. If you were told life is a struggle, then struggle became familiar to you. But just as negative beliefs are formed through repetition, so too can empowering ones. Repetition is the tool that shifts the subconscious. When you affirm something over and over with certainty, your subconscious begins to accept it as truth, regardless of whether your external reality currently reflects it. And once the subconscious adopts a belief, it works tirelessly to make it your lived experience. Think of it like planting seeds in fertile soil. Each affirmation you repeat is a seed. The more you nurture it with consistency, the deeper its roots grow. Eventually, it must bear fruit. The mistake many people make is giving up too soon. They say an affirmation for a day or two, and seeing no immediate change, they declare it ineffective. But transformation does not happen instantly. It happens through unwavering repetition. Repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity breeds certainty. What once felt unnatural soon becomes second nature. If you repeat to yourself, "I am wealthy," even when your bank account suggests otherwise, at first it may feel like a lie, but the more you say it, the more comfortable it becomes. Soon it will feel normal. And when something feels normal to you, the world has no choice but to make it your experience. The key is to affirm with belief, not just mechanically repeat words. Emotion strengthens the impression on the subconscious. If you affirm, "I am successful," but do so half-heartedly, without lingering in the background, the message is weak. But if you say it with full conviction, feeling the reality of success as if it is already yours, you accelerate the process. This is why successful people seem to carry an unshakable confidence. They have reinforced their beliefs so strongly through repetition that they no longer question them. They do not merely hope for success, they assume it. They do not wish for abundance, they expect it. And because they expect it, they receive it. You must do the same. Choose the beliefs you want to instill and repeat them daily. Morning and night, affirm them with certainty. Let them become the dominant thoughts in your mind. Say, "Everything I desire is already mine. I am powerful. I am abundant. I am loved. Life is working in my favor." Repeat these truths until they feel undeniable. Doubt only arises when a belief is weak, but through repetition, you strip doubt of its power. The more you affirm, the more solid your belief becomes. And when you believe something with absolute certainty, the world must reflect it back to you. This is the secret. The world is not fixed. It is fluid, shaped by your deepest assumptions. What you consistently tell yourself determines what you experience. Repetition is the bridge between thought and reality. Speak what you desire into existence, and through the power of certainty, watch as your world transforms before your eyes. Doubt is the only thing that stands between you and the life you desire. It is not circumstances, not luck, not even hard work. It is doubt. The moment you allow uncertainty to creep in, you create resistance, blocking the very thing you seek from reaching you. But when you release doubt and trust in the unseen forces that govern this reality, everything flows effortlessly into place. You must understand that questioning how something will happen is a sign that you are still looking at the world through the lens of limitation. The conscious mind wants to control, to analyze, to figure things out logically. It demands evidence before it believes. But the true power that shapes your life does not operate on logic. It responds to certainty. The moment you say, "I don't know if this will work," you have already placed an obstacle in your path. The moment you wonder, "How will it happen?" you are signaling to the universe that you do not trust. Your only responsibility is to declare boldly what you desire and let go of the need to control the process. When you plant a seed in the soil, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust that the process is unfolding beneath the surface, even though you cannot see it. The same principle applies here. The moment you affirm something, whether it be wealth, success, love, or healing, it is set into motion. Your job is not to interfere, but to remain unwavering in your belief. Doubt is a trick of the mind. It makes you believe that unless you can see something happening, it is not happening at all. But the most powerful forces are unseen. The roots of a tree grow beneath the surface long before the first sprout emerges. The tides of the ocean shift by the pull of the moon, though the connection is invisible. And in the same way, the moment you declare something as true, forces beyond your awareness begin arranging circumstances to bring it into being. Let go of the need to micromanage the details. Do not ask, where will the money come from, or when will my success arrive, or how will my circumstances change? These are distractions that pull you away from the certainty of your vision. Instead, assume it is already done. Walk as if you have already received it. Speak as if it is already yours. Feel as if it has already happened. The people who succeed effortlessly in life are not the ones who worry about how things will unfold. They are the ones who carry an unshakable belief that everything is always working in their favor. They expect things to go their way, and so they do. They do not beg or chase. They assume and receive. This is the difference between those who struggle and those who flow. You must detach from doubt completely. Train yourself to replace uncertainty with assurance. When doubt arises, counter it immediately with a stronger affirmation. If your mind says, "But what if it doesn't happen?" respond with, "It is already done." If it whispers, "But I don't see any changes," answer with, "Everything is unfolding perfectly." You must be relentless in reinforcing your belief. Reality is fluid. It conforms to your dominant assumptions. If you assume difficulty, you will encounter difficulty. If you assume ease, things will unfold effortlessly. But you cannot assume both. You must make a choice. Faith or fear, trust or doubt. Choose faith, choose trust. Stand firm in your declaration and do not waver. The unseen forces that govern this world are always in motion, responding to your state of being. When you release doubt, you open the floodgates for miracles to occur. What you seek is already on its way. Your only job is to believe it, declare it, and let go. Then, without effort, without struggle, it will arrive exactly when and how it is meant to. Gratitude is the key that seals your manifestation, making what you desire not just a possibility but an inevitability. When you feel true appreciation for something, as if you already have it, you send out a powerful signal that aligns your reality with that experience. This is not mere positive thinking. It is the law that governs creation. Whatever you are grateful for, you attract more of. The mistake many people make is waiting to be grateful until after their desires materialize. They say, "I will be thankful when I have the money," or "I will appreciate my life when my circumstances improve." But this approach is backwards. Gratitude is not a reaction to receiving. It is the force that brings receiving into reality. When you embody gratitude before the physical evidence appears, you accelerate the process of manifestation. Think of gratitude as a magnet. The more you appreciate something, the stronger the pull becomes. The universe does not distinguish between what you have and what you are imagining. It only responds to the energy you emit. If you feel thankful for something, it assumes you already have it and reflects that reality back to you. This is why feeling the joy of already having what you desire is so powerful. It tricks the subconscious into accepting it as truth. And once your subconscious accepts it, the world must conform. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance. When you lack something, your natural instinct is to dwell on its absence. You might say, I don't have enough money, or I wish I had a better job. But these statements reinforce the very conditions you want to change. Whatever you focus on expands, and by concentrating on what is missing, you unknowingly push it further away. Gratitude redirects your attention. It moves you from a state of need to a state of already having. Instead of dwelling on what is not yet visible, you affirm its presence in your life. You say, I am so grateful for the wealth flowing to me. Or I appreciate the opportunities that are unfolding perfectly. This shift in mindset alters your entire vibration, making you a match for the reality you wish to experience. Gratitude also removes resistance. Many people unknowingly block their manifestations with impatience, worry, or doubt. They constantly check their progress, wondering when their desires will appear. But this restless energy contradicts the certainty needed for manifestation. Gratitude dissolves this resistance. When you feel deeply thankful, you are no longer chasing, hoping, or waiting. You are accepting. You trust that everything is already done. And in that trust, you allow it to unfold naturally. The most successful people in the world live in a state of constant gratitude. They do not wait for external circumstances to dictate their appreciation. They cultivate it within themselves. They understand that gratitude is not about what is happening around them, but about the energy they choose to embody. They wake up thankful, they go about their day thankful, and they rest in thankfulness. And because they carry this energy, their lives continue to expand in ways beyond imagination. You must do the same. Begin each day by feeling grateful, not just for what you already see, but for what you know is coming. Close your eyes and imagine your desires already fulfilled. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement. Let that feeling flood your entire being. Say, thank you, as if you have already received it. Walk through life with the knowing that everything is aligning perfectly for you. Gratitude is the final step in the manifestation process. It completes the cycle. You ask, you believe, and then you give thanks. Once you truly feel the gratitude of already having it, there is nothing more to do. The universe takes over, multiplying your blessings in ways beyond your imagination. And soon what was once a vision in your mind becomes the reality before your eyes. Everything you seek is already within your reach. The words you speak shape your reality. The assumptions you hold create your experiences, and the faith you carry determines how effortlessly life unfolds for you. There is no need to struggle, chase, or force anything into existence. Simply declare it, believe it, and trust that it is already yours. The key is unwavering certainty. Repeat your affirmations until they become truth in your subconscious. Detach from doubt and let go of the need to control how things will happen. Feel gratitude as if your desires have already been fulfilled, and watch as life rearranges itself to match your inner conviction. When you align your thoughts, words, and emotions with the reality you wish to experience, the results are inevitable. The money, the success, the love, the opportunities, they will flow effortlessly to you because you have already claimed them in your mind. So, stand firm in your declarations, walk boldly in faith, and embrace the joy of already having all that you desire. Everything is working in your favor. Now, all that remains is for you to receive. Thank you for listening. May you continue to manifest abundance with ease.